Welcome to the Nintendo Rewind. My name is Cody Christian. I'm joined by Chris Becker, aka Super Nintendad, for tonight's stream. We are hosting the premier podcast covering all the biggest news, reviews, announcements from Nintendo, recapping and rewinding last week. That being said, I know you guys are surprised to see a different face on here. I've got my friend Chris on the line because Josh unfortunately wasn't able to make it tonight. He had some other responsibilities that he had to go and attend to. But that being said, Chris, tell me how you doing, man.
Hello, thank you for having me. I am doing wonderful. Much better now that I'm talking to you, you know?
I know. My life has improved and is made all the more better whenever you're here, so thank you for being here. Did you get into any kind of craziness today or this past week, man?
The past week?
Mm-hmm.
Whew, what didn't I do? You know, one time I found myself upside down in the tub. It was wild. It was a crazy time, and it was slippery when wet. But I will say,
yeah, that's
crazy story. The tub, be careful in them. And I will say, outside of that, what did we do? We kind of just we hung out, didn't really party much. We ate some good food and rung in the new year.
Dude, I didn't even think about it being New Year. Like, I should have said, how was your last year? That was the dad joke you were looking for. My gosh.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. You know?
I failed you as a co-host.
You'll get there. Next time I come on, I'll be, you'll be ready. Wax on, wax off.
I appreciate it. You know, we went to essentially real life Five Nights at Freddy's this past week for New Year's. We took our kids over to there's like this local chain. I think they might be nationwide, but as far as I know, they're local. And it's like,
oh, Chuck E. Cheese.
But
yeah.
no, but it's owned by the same people. This Showtime Pizza owns that place, but they also own this franchise, which is like Billy Bob's Wonderland, I think is what it's called. But we took the kids over there and hung out with some friends and their kids. They did a balloon drop at like 8 p.m. and it was a crazy party. And then we went and hung out over at their house afterwards. But that was pretty much my last week in a nutshell. We did a lot of stuff, but that was the most important thing that I did, was hang out with my kids on New Year's and bring in the 2024 season.
Indeed. Yes, indeedy.
Oh, man. Well, listen, I really want to thank you for joining me today, by the way. Like I said at the top of the show, Josh was unable to be here, but Chris ended up taking a step in, so that way I had a co-host for tonight. But I did want to share some news regarding the show for 2024. So I do want to celebrate our 50 followers over on the Nintendo Rewind actual channel. I'm going to give that a quick shout out so that you guys can go and follow that. That's where shows are going to be happening from now on. So after this week, we're going to be moving all of our live tapings over there onto Nintendo Rewind. If you guys want to keep up with it and know what's going on, please go over there, give that a follow. But big thanks to everyone who went and followed. I know I had the help of my friend Chris here, a couple of other people who shared it and shouted it out. We'll be doing our giveaway drawing over there as well next week. So if you want to find out if you won that Baron Bird amiibo, Banjo-Kazooie, go over there, be there live next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, do me a favor while you're also here and go give Super Nintendad a real quick follow. He is my best friend. Go give him a follow. That being said, do you want to dive into some MyNintendo digital and physical rewards news, Chris?
Boy, do I ever. You know, one of the things I love to do every day is drink some water, eat some food, and check out the digital and physical rewards.
Now's a good time.
Yeah, now's
a good time. I agree with you. Let's drink the water, let's eat the food, and let's check out those Nintendo digital and physical rewards.
So they got what? So right now they got another Code Recollection the January wallpaper. The game comes out January 19th, I think.
I think that is right. I don't think they wanted to compete with Prince of Persia, so this is best move. Release it another day.
Well, Nintendo always releases on Friday, so they got the January poster. It's 0 platinum points. Those are the best kind of rewards where you can just go ahead, grab it, throw it on your phone, throw it on your computer, throw it on your Zune. You got a Zune, you're listening to your music, you're bumping, you're grinding. Go ahead and get another code, Recollection January wallpaper. And then they got the sweepstakes, which it's expiring this week. It's been going on for a little while, but it's not new. They got the Disgaea 7 Vows of, you know what? Virtueless sweepstakes. And it is 10 platinum points up to 3 entries. So max 30 points, and you get your entry into that sweepstakes to win the game, I believe, and some other goodies.
For some reason, it's not even showing like what you get with that. I think it's like a plushie and a poster and like a couple of other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why this isn't shown, why the preview's not showing anymore. But hey, go over there and enter if you can find the button, because Lord knows I can't. I cannot find this button.
Yeah, you know what? Good luck. It could be ended already. It could have ended already for all we know. It could, rewind, go back, check it out, look and find it. If you can't, we apologize, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep going. You know where we're not going to? Physical rewards, because there are none. Okay? So I guess we kind of did go to physical rewards, but I'll tell you what. Then they got the digital rewards in the on that rare, I would say, based on the number of people that have a Nintendo Switch, the number of people that use the Nintendo Switch online button is probably pretty low. But on there, what they want to do is get you on there, clicking those buttons, getting those digital rewards. They got the missions, they got the rewards. There is no mission for a game trial because there's no game trials this week currently. There could be one later in the week, but as of right now, we'll talk about that next week. Okay? But right now, it's the final wave for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and by final wave, I mean the second wave. It's going until the 18th. We've got a few more waves.
Do we have more waves? I thought wave 4 was it. Is it not? I'm wrong.
No, it says Pokemon Scarlet and Violet waves are back. The icons for these titles will be available until January 18th. So
don't get your news from here. I'm not a reputable news source, clearly.
Yeah, so just hang on for dear life. The January 8th is when the Mario Wonder rewards are going to end. So you got those. Plus, we've also got the daily rotating icons until January 9th. So right now there's 2 sets. We got the Metroid set going on right now. There's some Metroid Prime remastered icons, and then WarioWare Move It. Sadly, they don't have the one that I'm currently using right now, but that could change tomorrow. You never know. They got some other ones on there, and that's where you can go and get those for that there.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I ended up picking up a lot of the Super Mario Wonder ones yesterday whenever I was trying to research for the show. I want to get the Metroid Prime remastered ones, and I've got to grab those before we end stream tonight. So I may end up doing that while we're chatting. But the ones that I think already left were Super Mario RPG, Pikmin, and the WarioWare movement set, I believe, has already left. I could be wrong about that, but I think those have already left.
They did, yeah. And the Metro Prime one's there until the January 4th at 8 p.m.
That's perfect. So, wonderful. Awesome. We are getting asked in the live chat, do people have strong feelings about what their Nintendo Switch icon is? Honestly, for me, I don't know that I have a strong feeling other than the fact that my youngest son, who takes control of my account, often changes my icon, and it does drive me up a wall because I have it set to something that I like, and he changes it to Cap'n from Animal Crossing with a purple background every single time. And I cannot explain to a 4-year-old why he doesn't need to be doing that. But he also changes my name to random things, like Corey. I get random messages from Super Nintendo asking me if things are okay with my life or if I'm having an identity crisis, and I think yes is the answer to both. Things are okay, and I am having one.
Yeah. Are you okay? Your name's Popcorn. What's happening? It just. But yeah, in terms of strong feelings, I don't like, just like children's names. I didn't want my kids to have any names in the top 1,000 of names the year they were born.
Buffalo was on the list, wasn't it?
Buffalo was number one on the list until it made his great grandmother cry. But so then we had to change it. But she was worried. She didn't want her first great grandchild to be named Buffalo. The only reason it was Buffalo William Becker. That was going to be the name. And the only reason I even slid a little bit in the almost happening camp was the fact that it was William is his mother's father's name, so his grandfather. And so she was like, oh well, maybe. And she was like, we could call him Bo, and that could work. And then
it's almost like a mashup of Buffalo and Bill Bo, Just Bo.
Exactly. Buffalo William.
I dig it. You should have just went with it. I think that would have been a good bet. But I know the name that you chose is a wonderful name still yet. So hey, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it was almost Buffalo. That didn't work. And then she tried to squeeze in she tried to squeeze in other common names. Like at first she wanted his name to be George, and then we could just call him Dodge, and I was like, no. And then this is the last anecdote about this, but then she wanted to go with James Cobalt Cloud. And,
I like that. Cobalt, though. That's strong. That's a strong name.
It's a name. And I just knew for a fact all we would ever call him is James, and I didn't want just a James walking around.
Just shortened it to Jim.
Yeah. Yeah. He would have just been Jim from The Office.
Yeah, it would have been fine. My dad's name is, I'm gonna out him. He goes by JC, but my dad's name is James. So he does JC. Do not ask him what his middle name is. He hates it, and I'm not gonna out it on here. That would be a mistake. He would probably find me. So that being said, we don't want that. Cobalt could have been good, though. I think he should have been James Cobalt. I think it would have worked.
Cobalt Cloud, yeah. It was James Cobalt Cloud, Jameson Danger. These are all names that she shot down, but we didn't go with. But
I understand. Oh man. Well, listen, we have a couple of events that are going to be coming up this upcoming week as well, and the first one on the list here is the Pokemon Masters EX. If you're a fan of the mobile game, they're always doing new events, but the big event for this week is actually the Rising New Year's Resolution event. I think it's going to be cool. I haven't played a whole lot of Pokemon Masters EX. Pokemon's not necessarily 100% my thing. I love the main games. I don't really dig the apps too much, except for maybe Pokemon Go, and that's only occasionally when it's warm outside, because I'm not going to go outside and freeze just to be able to play my Pokemon games. But there are two things going on in this game, and that is the Rising New Year's Resolution event, which you guys are seeing a trailer for here on screen, and they also have of note, 2 new heroes that you can snag as well. These are actually pretty cool. The first one is Signasuit Cynthia and Lucario with her partner Pokemon. And the second one and this is the one that I'm most excited about, is the original Pokemon Red and Pikachu, which you can snag and use in this game. So if you are a fan of Pokemon Masters EX, please go check those out. It's going to be a good time for you guys. But the big things that I think are important here, Shiny Lucario getting added to your team in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is going to be happening right now, and it's only available until tomorrow night. So it goes until the 3rd. If you use the mystery code SHINY with a 1, SH1NY buddy, in all caps, you can get yourself a level 75 Shiny Lucario who knows Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere, Bullet Punch, Ice Punch. His Terra type is Steel. Ability is Inner Focus, and the Pokeball he comes in is the Cherish Ball. I kind of like this whole look for Lucario. I like that gold and blue color that he has going on. Have you played much Pokemon lately, by the way, Super Nintendo?
I do. And also, they don't have it listed, but he also likes long walks on the beach.
Ooh.
But what I will say is the Pokemon Unite ended up playing more of that, got me back into Pokemon. And then I ended up playing Pokemon Violet. The DLC, the second part of the DLC came out. I loaded it up. The first part of the DLC is a real snore fest. You're just sitting there talking. My least favorite thing to do in a video game. And then, so I've been playing it more now. I'm ready to dive in. I went to go to the second part, but I never actually beat the game. Right,
Ooh.
the actual game itself. So it's like the second part of the DLC starts at like level 65 or something.
It does, and it is hard. So I actually just finished part 1. I started it on stream and then decided, I was like, I don't know that I'm going to keep playing this on stream. So I ended up playing all of part 1 on my own because, I mean, it was just a dialogue grind. I'm with you. I rated it like a 4 out of 10 over on my social accounts. I was like, this is bad. Yeah. But I'm really glad that I got into part 2, which I did finish that one, and I'm taking my level 100 hyper train, like very focused Pokemon. I've got an Annihilate, I've got a Mousehold, I've got all their special held items, but I am still getting my teeth kicked in. And the crazy thing is, like, I don't have Pokemon that are geared toward double battles, which is what that second DLC is all about. It's good. I will say already I enjoy that 10 times more than I enjoyed the original DLC that they did for it. I'm glad I'm playing them back to back because I have a more direct comparison, but I don't know that I would recommend anybody play that first DLC. I'm with you. It's bad. It's just legit bad.
Yeah.
If you are into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, though, there are 2 other things here. Walking Wake and Iron Leaves are available until the 7th. These are 7-star Terra raid battles. You do get your chance to snag these again. These were a limited time release back when they first announced the DLC, and they're bringing them back for Terra raid battles as well. I don't know any of their drops, any of their stats, but if they're like all the rest of the 7-star raids, these will be level 100 Pokemon that you'll be going up against. They're maxed out. They're actually fairly difficult battles, but I would say Walking Wake was easier than the Iron Leaves battle in the original raid. And then also there are mass outbreaks of Dragon-type Pokemon, Dratini in the Paldea region, Jangmo-O in the land of Kitakami, and Duraludon in the Blueberry Academy is all popping up. So you guys can go and grind your Pokemon to your heart's content. That will be going all the way until January 3rd as well at 3:59 p.m. PST. I can't do that hour math, so you can figure it out. You can figure it out at home.
Wait, what time was it?
3:59. Psst.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's I don't know. It's like 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Go check it out. Go check it out. You have until tomorrow at 7 p.m. So go check it out while you still have time. That does bring us. Speaking of having time, that brings us to our main event for the show tonight. And that is, what is our 2024 Nintendo wish list? And I think we all have some pretty good ideas of stuff that we're hoping Nintendo will do. We probably have some pretty good ideas of things Nintendo won't be doing. But If you guys are here in the live chat, please feel free to spam your desires to your heart's content. But I do want to hear from Chris first. Chris, what's your first thing that you're hoping for the most from Nintendo this year?
A new system. I want the Switch 2. That's what I want.
I'm right there with you. Like, I think that's almost locked in. That's almost guaranteed. Dev kits are out in the wild, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What do you want it to be called, though? I think there's only one right answer, and I've got a different one than probably anybody.
Probably the Super Nintendo Switch.
See, that makes the most sense. That makes the most sense, and it rolls off the tongue really, really nicely. But try this one on for size, and let me ask you. If you look back at the evolution of the Game Boy, we had Game Boy. We had Game Boy Color. We had, what came next? The Game Boy Advance. I want Nintendo Switch Advance. That's desperately what I want. And anyone out there saying Switch U, get out now. No, we are not doing a Switch U situation. But I think it'd be really cool to call it the Nintendo Switch Advance. What do you want from that system, though? Like, are you just wanting a new system, or are you just, what kind of upgrades are we looking for? Because at this point, like, I can tell you, the OLED screen is beautiful. The only thing that I think it's really lacking in is power.
It's lacking power, and all the rumors are about if they don't call it the Nintendo Scooter, I want, even if we don't get two screens, I want a camera. I want an ability to do street passes, even if it's through the mobile app on your phone. I want all sorts of stuff like that. I would like a microphone, like built in either on the Pro Controller or the system itself. So a camera, a mic, better performance, and backwards compatibility.
I'm with you on the camera, on the microphone, on the power. The only other thing that I think that I would like is I want backwards compatibility. That's the main thing that I want, is full backwards compatibility with all my Switch games, because this is the console generation I think I spent the most money on an actual console in terms of games. In the old, I mean, if you take in quantity, but it has to have backwards compatibility. You'd break my heart if I had to leave behind my however many games I have. I don't even dare count them.
Yeah, I feel like, if nothing else, the Labo VR, it better keep the same form factor so I can use Labo VR and keep playing my Breath of the Wild in VR like I do.
Absolutely.
Once a day. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Labo, most important game on the console. So that is also my number one wish, though, is the next Nintendo Switch. But if I had to say, like, my number two wish for this year, I really desperately need Metroid Prime 4 in my life. I desperately need Metroid Prime in my life. And the fourth one has been rumored to be coming for forever. We know that it's not even rumored. It's been confirmed. My apologies. It's been confirmed that it's coming forever, and it still hasn't made its way to this console. And a lot of the rumors surrounding it now are that gameplay's finished. We're waiting on cutscenes. I need this game in 2024, and I don't know what it's going to take to get them to release that, but I fully believe that this game is going to be the one that will probably, if anyone's ever been on the fence about Nintendo Switch and picking up a Nintendo Switch, beyond Tears of the Kingdom, beyond Super Mario Odyssey or Super Mario Bros. Wonder, any of the Pokemon games, this game will probably be the one that I think would net some people coming into the Nintendo Switch ecosystem that's been on the fence. Metroid Prime Remastered, I think, helped sell a little bit more of the Nintendo Switch system. And then even beyond that, all the NSO stuff that they've released, and harkening back to the older Metroid stuff, and even Metroid Dread got a lot of people's interest peaked because of 2D Metroid and its prevalence with Super Metroid. I think Metroid Prime 4 needs to make its way this year, 2024. It's on my wish list.
2024. It's so behind the system. That's your number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it will. I'm going to say it'll come out. I don't know if it'll come out this year. I think it will, if it's not a launch title, whenever it does come out, even if it is a launch title or isn't, it's going to come to the Switch and the new system. And then it'll use whatever new features, if any, there are that the Switch won't be able to use. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Metroid Prime 4, especially with what they did with Metroid Prime Remastered. Like, they went and rebuilt that. So, if anything, that helped the people working there get ready to make Metroid Prime 4. So, who knows how long they've been working on it or how long it's been done. For all we know, it could be done now and it'll be out. You know, they're just polishing it. And because isn't that what happened with Tears of the Kingdom? It was like done a year ahead of time and they just worked on polishing it until it
that is
came out.
Exactly what happened. And in all honesty, I'm kind of with you. I think it would be a dual release. It makes sense to make it a dual release. I kind of wonder how sold they are on that idea, though, just because with sales figures for Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime as a whole, it doesn't necessarily perform the way Zelda does. But I'm kind of with you. If anything, I would expect like an Odyssey 2 or something being a dual release. But I think it would make sense with as long as they've been pushing it and as big of a fan base as there is behind Metroid Prime. I think they could do a dual release with that title, but it doesn't make as much sense as something else.
Oh yeah. Well, even if they do release it on the Switch, I think I could see other games being dual releases too, but yeah, I just think that'll be one that is out on both. I don't know that it would be something wild where it's like 30 frames on one and 60 on the other. I don't think. I mean, I haven't even seen the game, so who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to Metro Prime 4 whenever it does come out. I'm not convinced it will sell more than 1.5 million copies, but I am looking for.
Yeah, I'm with you. What's your next biggest wish behind Nintendo Switch Advance?
Behind the Nintendo Switch Advance, behind that, I want more games that I can go and download, whether it is a brand new version of it, like a remake of it, or if it's just Mother 3 on the NSO.
That is a hot take. It would be cool. Mother 3 as a whole, I've played through the fan translation of it. It is very good. It's very good. And there's no reason they can't just bring that over, but man, Mother 3, you're bringing the heat on this one.
Well, with it being the 30-year anniversary. Is it 30 or 20?
I think it's the 30th. 30th year anniversary on this one.
Yeah, so with it being the 30th anniversary, just here's what I want. I want the Earthbound, Beginnings, and then Earthbound, and then Mother 3, whatever they want to call it, Earthbound 2, Earthbound Advance. And then I want the N64 demo from Earthbound 64 that they showed off at Space World, and then just have that on the cartridge too, and just put the whole thing together in a package, just like a Earthbound omnibus, but put into video game form. Dude, I'm 1,000% behind that. That'd be great. With a scratch and stiff guide. Yeah. Yes, 1,000%. Although I don't know that many people want to be sniffing the fuzzy pickles, but hey, to each their own. Everyone wants to sniff the fuzzy pickles. Everybody.
I'm with you. I think more games, especially more re-releases and remasters, would be good. There's a part of me that says, hey, let's put some new blood into these franchises that we're re-releasing. But there are some that we have not had the chance to experience. And I think Mother 3 is absolutely like way up there in terms of re-releases / remasters that I think we could see and would actually be happy to see. Like Super Mario RPG getting the remaster that it did, or Metroid Prime getting the remaster that it did. They could do something absolutely worthy of that franchise and bring it back. And I think you're on the right track there. As far as my next big wish, though, like I want some new blood, and there has been a rumor that the Odyssey team was working on a Donkey Kong game for a very long time. I don't know if that rumor is accurate, and I don't know if they're actually even working on anything for it. But what I desperately want is a new 3D Donkey Kong adventure. Not Donkey Kong 64. We don't need to remaster that. We don't need to bring that back. But I do want an actual something realized in the 3D space for Donkey Kong, which I think, as much love as they're putting behind it with the Universal theme park, and as much as they want Donkey Kong to be something that is as popular as Mario is, with the focus they gave to him in the movie, there's no reason they should stop underutilizing that IP and actually do something more with it besides the 2D games that they have re-released and haven't had since. That's my next big wish, is that they put some blood into the franchise and do something new.
So just say, I mean, you came up with Nintendo Switch Advance, and I'll go ahead and come up with the name for the next Donkey Kong game coming out in 2024, and that's Donkey Kong 65. I can't wait. I think we're all excited for it. It's going to be, people are going to be confused, like, is this a remake of 64? No, it's the sequel. It's going to be something new. They're going to have a DK rap at the beginning of it, and it's going to be, I feel like if they do something like that, it'll be like less Donkey Kong 64 and more like, what if like Tropical Freeze was in 3D?
I'm all for it. Do it.
Yeah. And hopefully I would like more, because I don't know if you enjoyed them or not, but Donkey Konga, and Donkey Konga is a great game. I really enjoyed those, and so if we could have that in 3D, like, whether it's like Donkey Kong meets Hi-Fi Rush with like music-based bosses, I'll go ahead and take that as well.
You're telling me you want Jungle Beat 2. That's what you really want. You want Jungle Beat 2.
Jungle Beat 3D. Is what I want, yeah.
Honestly, like, Jungle Beat is probably one of my favorite games for the GameCube, and it was so weird. It was so different, and it was the only like bongo game that I had. I didn't have Donkey Konga. I got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and the bongos for that system, and it was freaking awesome. It was one of the coolest things, and the amount of like resolution that they had on that little DK like preview that you had in the bottom corner, where you could see his hair moving, it blew me away. Graphically, it's very impressive. It is a good game all around, and I'm 1000% behind you. Like, I want that also. Give me Donkey Kong 65, but it's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat 2.
Right, exactly. Yes, please and thank you. And we got those bongos.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could just use the Taiko no Tatsujin stuff as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean, Namco, they're helping, right? They're helping work on some sort of, isn't there a rumor of them helping Nintendo? Or not a rumor, they said, oh, we got a team that just is focused on helping Nintendo make games.
I believe that's true.
And so
I believe that's true.
Yeah,
I'm down for it.
If it's not Kid Icarus.
Oh man, tell me. Listen, okay. So Sakurai recently, he had an interview, right? And he was talking about the fact that he's still making games. I don't think it has anything to do with Smash personally. Do you believe that it has anything to do with Kid Icarus or anything Nintendo IP that he's working on, or is he just like consulting at this point?
Do I think it has anything to do with Kid Icarus? Well, I think so. I don't think he'll be able to get away from the grasp that is Smash Brothers, even if it is Smash Ultimate Deluxe Edition.
My God,
I think there will be.
Don't curse us with that.
I'm telling you, there's going to be another one, and we already got Jack Black in the game with Bowser and Steve, and so there's they could add new characters, but anyway, I think that if they were making or remaking or remastering Kid Icarus, hopefully with better controls, they would be able to go ahead, and I'm sure he would be definitely overseeing that. I don't know. That's the problem with if they remake that. Like, I want the multiplayer for Kid Icarus Uprising, but who knows what they're going to do.
I'm 100% with you. I think that'd be good. Is there any other? So we should probably try to rein this list in because we've asked for a lot now, right? We've asked for 3D open world Donkey Kong with the bongos. We've asked for the Nintendo Switch Advance. We've asked for Mother 3 to actually finally be localized in an omnibus of every single Earthbound game that's ever came out. What is your final off the wall wish that you don't believe will actually happen in our lifetime, but you desperately want Nintendo to do it?
Oh, please. If there was one thing, it would probably be a sequel to my favorite game of all time, which is Elite Beat Agents. If you could give us an Elite Beat Agents 2, but I don't think that's happening in 2024 because they're going to be busy making sure they get a game at launch that everyone's going to want, everyone's going to play, and that's the whole reason we got this microphone, we got the camera, and we got Nintendogs plus cats plus hamsters, and it's coming this holiday, and I can't wait for it. You're just going to be running around, making sure your dogs don't eat the hamsters. It's a great game. I can't wait for it. You take your dog for a walk. You sync it up to your phone. You put your dog on your phone. It calculates your steps, and then you bring it back, and then you take it from your phone, put it into the game. Bada bing, bada bang. You're going to be gone for a little while. Your friend can take your dog on their phone, watch it while you're on vacation, and take walks with it. And then when you come back, there you go. Thank you very much for walking my dog. Here you go. That's Nintendogs.
I'm sold.
I can't wait.
I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that'd be so good. I desperately want my Tamagotchi of Nintendo's franchises to make their way to the Switch as well. I need people to be able to take care of my dog when I go on vacation. My digital dog. Make sure he doesn't die.
Just
exactly. One more thing to take care of. No big deal, right? No big deal.
Right, exactly.
If I were to say like what my final like off the wall, never gonna happen in 1,000 years on Nintendo Switch thing to happen for 2024, it's gonna be releasing Silk Song. I'm kidding. That's happening. It's happening. But realistically, I would have loved to see GameCube come to Nintendo Switch Online, and I don't think it's gonna happen. There's a lot of games that I think have been forgotten about that would have been awesome, but B, that I would have just loved to have an actual like GameCube style controller that I don't have to plug in to my system, that is first party, that's like Wavebird style, that I can connect wirelessly and do Mario Kart Double Dash or the original Luigi's Mansion and not have to wait for the remake of Dark Moon to come out. And the whole ecosystem of the GameCube was freaking awesome and freaking amazing. Animal Crossing could have made its way there. There are so many good games that released on there. I'd love to see Soul Calibur's version from the GameCube make its way on there. But I don't think it's ever going to happen in 1,000 years. My dream is not as big as your dream. It's not as big as your dream. But if you aim for the stars, you'll at least hit the moon. You're aiming for that next galaxy over.
Yeah, that's because that's what we gotta. We gotta aim high to hit high.
Absolutely. Aim high to hit high. But I think that's a pretty good roundup of some of the biggest wishes that we want to see out of Nintendo for the 2024 season. There's a lot of stuff that I think everyone could possibly want. So if you're watching this live, or if you're even catching this later on YouTube, please let us know in the comments what your biggest wish for Nintendo is, be it big or small. It doesn't matter. That can be your wish list. We'll compile them all. We'll get them written in a letter. I'll send them over to my good friend Dougie Bowser, president of Nintendo of America. He'll make sure that he gets it all taken care of. You know, he is my uncle after all. But
don't forget plus hamsters. Don't forget the plus hamsters at the end.
Yep,
please.
Plus hamsters.
Thank you. Yeah.
But that being said, you know, we've got a couple of extra pieces of news that I think is worthwhile, and this is stuff that's actually going to be happening for Nintendo, and stuff that has actually already happened. The first thing on the list here is the Pokemon Concierge series just debuted on Netflix this past week. I was able to catch the very first episode. It is so cute. Have you watched any of this yet, Chris?
Oh, yeah. I've seen every episode maybe 2 or 3 times now. At least Vanessa and I watched it together, and it is marvelous. It's definitely, because we were also watching... just, you know, every once in a while we'll just find out, you know, a murder mystery show. And we say murder mystery, it was a real life murder, and they just tell you about how it happened. And then when we're done, before sleeping, we'll watch a couple of episodes of this, even though we've already seen it. And it's very wholesome, very delightful. It looks really good. I think the worst part about the show is there's only 4 episodes.
It is, and they're like 15 minutes too, because there's like 5 minutes of credits after everything is up. But
yeah,
I'm with you. This is animated like no other Pokemon anything has ever been animated. It's got that claymation felted look. It's cozy. It's something that is going to be. I mean, I think we were talking earlier in your stream, Super Nintendo, about, you know, what's your feel good video game. What is it? Your comfort game that you end up playing. This is something that I think would be an absolute good addition to the comfort shows, alongside shows like The Office to be playing in the background.
Right. So. Yeah. No. Yeah. And then also on Netflix, there is I don't know if it's actually on Netflix. I saw it on YouTube. There's the behind the scenes of it being made, and they actually used like it was like stop motion animation, and it looks it's just wonderful.
It is beautiful. It's beautiful. And yeah, Netist in the chat, it is real claymation. It absolutely is. It's none of it's CG or animated. I phrased that poorly when I was talking about it. So, but yeah, no, it is beautiful. The next thing that is extra Nintendo news here, Mother 2 30th anniversary since 1994. There has been a new update on a special website in Japanland for the anniversary of Mother 2. What we know about it here in the States as Earthbound. And basically what they said on this website is they are planning to do some goods, some events that have never been done before, collaboration with other events, and this is translated poorly, and measuring sticks. Don't know what that means. What? A measuring stick? Question mark. But there's a lot of different stuff here, and I think there was an interview that you told me about, Chris, that was between Shigeru Miyamoto-san and Shigesato Itoi.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what they ended up talking about, but it's a part 1, right? What do you know anything that was discussed in that interview? Not
a word. Not a single word. I don't know anything that was talked about it in it. I just know that that it was there and that it happened. It was like the first part, and then the second part's coming later, I believe.
It looks like they do have the third part available. So they had the first part. This is listed as third for some reason right here at the top of the interview. So I think this is a third part of the conversation between Miyamoto and Shigesato. So like, if you were excited for more Earthbound stuff, this is absolutely way up there for something that I think anybody should and could get excited about. And if it gives us any hope for Chris's omnibus of Earthbound to be released.
That's true.
This is the piece of news. And this is the piece of news. Also rumored, Banjo-Kazooie, a new game getting greenlit, possibly in early 2022 was when this was greenlit as an active project. Potential reveal of Banjo-Kazooie has been teased by Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, who has expressed that the Xbox team hears their Banjo fans, and the developer for the new Banjo-Kazooie game is unknown. My biggest hope is that that's going to be that's going to be Rare, as they have been acquired by Microsoft. But I don't know. Do you have like a developer that you would rather see handle Banjo-Kazooie besides Rare?
Well, Rare, they're working on that game, or they had that game announced, and then they're reworking it, Everwilds, and then they have the Sea of Stars, which they're just doing updates for. So I'm sure
Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
Sea of Thieves, as I like to call it.
Oh yeah, Sea of Thieves. It's the Minecraft crossover. But
it's
yeah,
all just Jack Black everywhere.
Yeah, just a bunch of Jack Blacks. But no, yeah, Sea of Thieves, not Sea of Stars. I got Sea of Stars on my mind. But yeah, the Sea of Thieves, they're still updating that. I don't know how many people that are working there. I mean, maybe they went to Rare and were like, do you want to make a new Banjo? And if there's enough people there that want to do it, that'd be great. Otherwise, I don't know who they would get to do it outside of somebody outside of Microsoft. But even then, I don't know who you would get to make it.
Probably Activision at this point. They actually are good with the mascot platformers. I think they could handle a good Banjo-Kazooie, taking it the Spyro / Crash Bandicoot route.
Yeah, Toys for Bob, or
let's hope not. Let's hope not. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Banjo-Kazooie. If that's a real thing, I know my co-host Josh, who's normally on here, he'd be over the moon to be able to hear and talk about this news. But there is also there was an interview with Takashi Tezuka for Super Mario Bros. Wonder that was put out on Famitsu.com, and they were talking about some of the scrapped ideas for what they were going to do with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And we all know Mario jumps, and Luigi jumps, and Princess Peach jumps, and Toad jumps, and Nabbit doesn't take damage. But what does Yoshi do? What does Yoshi do, Chris?
Jumps.
He also jumps. He jumps.
He lets people ride him.
That is also true, and that was the only ability that they brought over from Yoshi's weapon armory. But the other thing that they talked about having brought in for Yoshi was the ability to throw eggs, which honestly, like, I would have been down for that. Tezuka was stating, in terms of Yoshi's actions, he thought it would be better to have him throw eggs, so he made a prototype version of it and tested it, but it became difficult to operate. And in order to make it enjoyable for first-time players, they decided that it would be better to keep it the way it is. So they created the current ability, which was Flutter Jump. And that's pretty much it. That's all he got was Flutter Jump and the ability for people to ride him.
Yeah, and the ability not to get abilities.
That is also, that's a confusing ability. That is a
it's the anti-ability.
The anti-ability. All hell anti-ability. But I think it would have been cool to actually have some sort of power up for him. I would have loved to have seen a Yoshi throwing fireballs, or a Yoshi shooting bubbles, or even an elephant Yoshi. Can we imagine that fan art real quick? But I think they made the right choices here for this, and making him a beginner character for people. Like, I know my kiddos end up playing as him a lot because they don't have to worry about taking damage from immobile Goombas. They can just kind of play however they want to and not worry about dying randomly. But I would have loved to have seen something a little bit more fleshed out for Yoshi in this game. I don't know. Makes me sad, but it's okay. And then the final extra piece of Nintendo news
real
here.
Quick.
Oh, yes.
in that interview, or when they were talking about, did they say anything about possibly did they consider having good boss fights?
Oh
Is
my
that something
gosh.
they consider doing in Mario Wonder, or
You're
were they
telling
like,
me
nah, we're good?
you're telling me the airship fights of where you run and you jump all the way across the entire conveyor belt and then land on a button and shut off the machine wasn't a good boss fight?
Yeah, no. The only one I had fun with was when you had the water bubbles in the fighting
in the Baby Bowser or Bowser
Baby
Jr. fight.
Bowser
Yeah.
Jr., yeah. And that was about it. And the rest of them, I was like, nope, this ain't it.
It's fair.
This ain't it. Especially when you have such cool levels, and then you get to the bosses, and it's just like, just stop on his head a couple times.
Yep. Such a letdown. It's so just like typical old school Mario. I mean, they said they wanted to harken back to the old school Mario stuff, but I didn't expect them to stick that close to it, you know? I was expecting something a little bit different.
Yeah.
The 3D World boss fights were way more inventive than that. Even the ones with Pom Pom and Boom Boom, I thought were a little bit more inventive. Yeah, you're just jumping on their heads, but like their arenas changed pretty significantly, and their abilities also were just significantly more interesting, I think, than Bowser Jr.'s abilities were, even with the Wonder Flowers. Speaking of 3D World, Lego recently, as of the 1st, also released a new expansion set, the Bowser Muscle Car expansion set for the Lego Super Mario set here. It does look super cool. It comes with the muscle car. Bowser himself is included in this. Previously, the only way to get the Lego Bowser was in the Lego Bowser's Castle expansion set, which was like a super expensive set way back in the day. If you want to be able to get Bowser for yourself and the muscle car, it's $29.99, available now through the Lego store or your participating retailer. I think it looks cool. I'm excited for it. But that kind of wraps up the extra Nintendo news. Chris, do you want to take away the upcoming games?
Yes. Is that the same Bowser in there? Like,
it is the exact same
that?
Bowser.
Okay.
Exact same Bowser, which I have sitting on my shelf back here somewhere in the background. It is the exact same Bowser. He's cool, but it's one of those things where I hate that he was locked behind a $250 set or something like that. But they do have this available at a significantly cheaper rate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So for the new games, one of them not coming out this week, but it was announced that it is coming to the Nintendo Switch. It was just announced recently, right? It is Foo Foo Foo, which is a great. Not only it's not only single player but co-op. You can play it co-op. It is a I think up to 4 players where you're running around. It's a roguelike game, but also mixes like WarioWare type mini games into it. So you're like running around trying to accomplish missions. In between that, they throw random mini games. Like the one they show is like just, you know, the generic finger up the nose mini game. But yes, this Foo Foo Foo, it is coming to the Nintendo Switch hopefully sometime in 2024. All it says is coming soon.
Yep.
So
it is wishlistable on Steam right now.
It is wishlistable.
Looks cool.
But yeah.
I think all WarioWare games are roguelikes in general. So like they're always slightly different depending on your playthrough. I think that looks fun. I am interested in it. I'd like to see what the actual like multiplayer gameplay is going to be like, and experience it rather, not see it, but experience what the actual multiplayer gameplay is going to be like, and whether or not it's going to require couch co-op or if I could play it online with my friends. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's a trailer. You can check it out. And then we also have coming out this week, The Spy Who Shot Me, which is kind of just a GoldenEye like, we'll call it. It came out, the game originally came out in 2019 onto Steam, and now it is coming out to the Nintendo Switch. Is it this week?
It is this week. It's actually, let me see here. What
on
date?
The 4th.
The 4th, yes.
Yes, and so that'll be $7.99. And then, you know what? If you get done with that, you wanna get some electrician simulator going, you can go ahead and do that as well. That is the electrician simulator is $19.99, by the way. It's kind of like a lot of it like does a lot of zooming in. Like, let's say you're going to go ahead and replace a light. It'll like zoom into the light fix, like the outlet where you're working, and you have to connect the right wires and everything like that. That is the type of game it is. I will say this game here is coming out. When it does come out, it will be like one of those games that goes on sale a lot. So even though it's $19.99, you'll probably be able to find it for $4.99 or even $5.99, like right after, not too long after it comes out.
You know, the thing that bothers me about this game?
Let's hear it.
The thing that bothers me about this game is you're not really being an electrician that much. I mean, you are being an electrician, but you're doing like small electronics repair for the most part in this game, is what the preview images look like. Like here, you're working on a wireless PlayStation Famicom controller. Like I don't know. That was Mad Catz. Here looks like you're installing a recessed light, which is cool. But then, like, you're back to play. You're fixing what I'm assuming is an Atari of some sort called the Playbox. Which that honestly, Nintendo needs to just release that next year for our 2024 Wishlist. It's the Playbox. But I don't know. Like
that'll be the name of the new system. Yep. You found it.
It's the Playbox. It was hidden in plain sight. Yeah. But no, I think. Overall, there's not a whole lot to write home about for this week's releases and games, but go check those out. Support your small developers. The Spy Who Shot Me is actually a pretty funny looking game, played for parody and humor. And then this game, if it's on par with Power Wash Simulator or Farming Simulator or Drug Salesman Simulator, like, I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah, it's like. What's the one where you like go and the whole house is like dirty and you gotta like paint it, clean everything?
I think that's Power Wash, isn't it? Isn't that Power Wash?
That's
or is that House Flipping Simulator?
House Flipper, yeah, House Flipper.
That's even better. It's even better.
I will say Electrician Simulator is overall very positive reviews. And on Steam, out of 1,400. So at least you have that to look forward to.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive.
I would not have expected that at all.
And then the Spy Who Shot Me, 262 overall reviews that it got so far on Steam.
Fairly positive. Yeah. Fairly positive.
It looks like it's trying to like a GoldenEye type thing, but at the same time. It almost looks like a PS1 game more than like it looks like it's going for PS1 style more than like
more than N64.
Yeah, and it's more like just a comedy retro inspired classic shooter from the 90s.
That makes sense. At the end of the day, with the Nintendo Switch's level of power that it can output, I think it'll look more like N64 than PlayStation 1 anyway, so go pick it up, enjoy it. That being said, that does bring us to our final section of the show, and this is a new section that is called the This Day in Nintendo History Guessing Game. Stick with us.
Stick with us.
So welcome one and all to the premier game show, the This Day in Nintendo History Guessing Game, which unfortunately I don't have a better name for right now. New name to be announced. But the goal of this show in this segment, I will be playing a sound or song from the game. I will also be showing a zoomed in screenshot of in-game gameplay, and we'll also have a little mix of trivia in there. And sometimes we'll have a little bit of all of it. Today's objective is up to Chris to determine the name of that game that was either released, shown, teased, sold by Nintendo in January 2nd. Okay, so January 2nd. This is your first clue, Chris. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
Okay, so your first clue. Let me adjust my windows because I'm extremely professional. Your first clue here, Chris. This game was published in 1991, and it was the first in its series to come to the Game Boy. Do you have any guesses so far?
It came out in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
No, not yet.
No guesses so far. Okay, get ready for your second clue. Your second clue is incoming now. Your second clue, this is a very, very zoomed in screenshot from the game. From the game.
It looks like Metroid.
Okay.
For the Game Boy.
Okay. Do you know that...
Or Metroid 2? Is that the name of it?
That is the name of the Metroid title that was on the Game Boy. And then now coming at you is your final clue. Your final clue. This is your final clue, and I'm gonna play it for the audience at home. Okay. Let me pull down the theme song. All right. Do you have a guess for what you think is the game, my good sir?
Yes, I think it is Metroid 2. Is it Samus Returns?
Let's see if you were correct. I will be playing the trailer on screen now. It does look to be Metroid 2. Good job, dude. Good job.
Return of Samus, not Samus Returns.
You were close. When they did the re-release on 3DS, it was Return of Samus, I believe, not Samus Returns. No, wait, it was Return of Samus on the Game Boy release. Samus Returns on the 3DS release.
On the 3DS, okay.
Yep. So you were spot on there. If I had another announcer, I would have them tell you what you won. But that being said, I don't have another announcer, and there are no prizes. Unfortunately, you get to leave here with the pride to know that you were my first contestant on this day in Nintendo history guessing game, because I don't have a better title for it. But that wraps up this episode of Nintendo Rewind. Super Nintendo, where can they find you, my friend?
You know what? You can find me over on Threads as Super Nintendo, though, THO, or you can find me on Twitter at or X, whatever you want to call it, Super Nintendo, on YouTube, Super Nintendo, and then every once in a while we do the Nintendo Today podcast, but we haven't done that in a minute, so we will see. That should be continuing in 2024. We will see what happens there.
Plug your stuff, my man. Plug your stuff. It is good. I do recommend anybody who isn't following Super Nintendo over here on Twitch, please go do so. He plays a lot of indie games. He plays a lot of Nintendo stuff. There's a reason that he's called Super Nintendo Dad, is because he is a dad and also really, really likes Nintendo, does a whole lot of stuff over there. Thank you for being my guest host tonight. I truly appreciate you coming over here and hanging out with me. That being said, you guys can find me at Nerdwire Plays everywhere. Threads, Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram, and right here on Twitch. You can catch all of our episodes of the Nintendo Rewind on Apple Podcasts eventually, but the videos are available every week the day after on youtube.com/@ The Nintendo Rewind. Join our Facebook group over at facebook.com/groups/ twitch.tv/Nintendo Rewind, and visit our social page over on Threads and Twitter at Nintendo Rewind. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Remember that you can catch us live every week, Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over at twitch.tv/Nintendo Rewind. Again, we're going to be moving the show over to that channel in due time. But thank you guys so much for hanging with me. Thank you, Chris, for joining me and being my co-host for the night.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. And if you guys are here for the live show, stick around. We'll chat it up for a couple of minutes after the credits end.